Welcome. Let's start today's reading practice. The truth, the simple path to productivity. Be careful how you interpret the world. It is like that. Eric Heller. Uncleansed. For many years I suffered from trying to live the lies of success. I began my career assuming everything mattered equally. So, in an effort in an effort to cram it all in, I attempted too much at once. Frustrated, I eventually began to doubt I had the discipline or will to achieve success at all. As my life continually fell out of balance, I started to consider that trying to live a weak life might be a bad thing. When you try to live up to something that isn't possible, you can get pretty down. I was pretty down. In an attempt to make it all work, I began to bear down even harder. You might say that I started to cleanse my way to success. I really did. I thought, I thought that this might be the way you went through life, with your jaw clenched, your fist clenched, your stomach clenched, and your butt clenched. Leaning forward, breath held, and body taut, tight, and totally tense. I just assumed that was the feeling of focus and intensity as I struggled to live with the lies. That approach actually worked, but it also put me in the hospital. I also began to think you had to talk like a success, walk like a success, and even dress for success. It wasn't me, but I was open to any way to make things work. So I took seriously the suggestions that you are supposed to project the way you want to be. That approach worked as well. But after a while, I simply got tired of playing success. I bought into getting up before the crack of dawn, getting revved up, playing inspirational theme songs, and getting going before anyone else. In fact, I became so full of these thinking. In fact, I often became so full of this thinking that I would drive to the office while the rest of the city slept and then crash by at my desk just to make sure that I beat everyone else to work. I started to accept the notion that maybe this is what ambition and achievement looked like as I fought the good fight. I would hold staff meetings at 7:30 in the morning and at 7:31 would actually shut the door and lock out anyone who showed up late. I was going overboard, but I was beginning to believe this was the only way you could success and the way you pushed others to succeed as well. This approach also worked, but in the end, it also pushed me too hard, others too far, and my world over the edge. I was truly beginning to think that the secret to success was to get as tightly wound up as possible each morning, set myself on fire, and then open the door and fly through the day, unwinding on the world until I literally burned out. And what did all of these get me? It got me success and it got me sick. Eventually, it got me sick of success. So, what did I do? I ditched the lies and went in the opposite direction. I joined Overachievers Anonymous and went anti establishment on all the success tactics that supposedly build success. First off, I got uncleansed. I actually started listening to my body, slowed down, and chilled out. Next, I started wearing t shirts and jeans to work and defied anyone to make a comment. I dropped the language and the attitude and went back to just being me. I had breakfast with my family. I got in shape physically and spiritually and stayed there. And last, I started doing less. Yes, less. Intentionally, purposefully less. I was looser than ever, way laid back for me and breathing. I challenged the axioms of success, and guess what? I became more successful than I ever dreamed possible and felt better than I had ever felt in my life. Yes, what I found out? We overthink, overplan, and overanalyze our careers, our businesses, and our lives. That long hours are neither virtuous nor healthy, and that we usually succeed in spite of most of what we do, not because of it. I discovered that we can't manage time, and that the key to success isn't in all the things we do, but in the handful of things we do well. I learned that success comes down to this: being appropriate in the moments of your life. If you can honestly say, this is where I am meant to be right now, doing exactly what I am doing, then all the amazing possibilities of your life become possible. Most of all, I learned that the one thing is the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results.